Hola chicos, tengo aquí un nuevo Inc. para ustedes. Estoy hoy con Cypress Hill en el Hotel W de la colonia, ¿qué es? Polanco. Vamos a ver qué nos tienen para contar antes de hoy su evento en el Sonorama. Hi, how are you guys doing?
Good, todo bien, muchas gracias.
I was wondering, I heard that you canceled your show in Arizona because of the immigration law that they had. I was wondering, how do you feel about that, especially what's going on, with the border now in Mexico? Is there any kind of thoughts or feelings, strong feelings about that?
Well, there definitely needs to be some sort of regulation, but the the legislation that they put in place was unfair, and it was basically singling out Latino people. At the same time, giving the authorities the excuse to pull anyone over because of this particular piece of legislation. So, we felt it was unfair, and that's why we decided not to play there up until they change a few things.
Definitely, that's totally out of place, especially because of the population. I mean, and you guys know more about that, I guess, than anybody because you're not 100% American. Do you think that had anything to do with the kind of pull that you had when your album came out in '91? Just because it wasn't, I guess, maybe what people were expecting.
Um, you know that when we first came out with our first album, it did take people, we came out of left field with it kind of, and people were bugging out on our style, our musical style, and our rhyming combination and whatnot. It did take people. Hip hop wasn't. How can I say? It was versatile, but we added more versatility to it, and we had our the way that we presented ourselves was way different than anything else that was out at that time. So we definitely stood apart.
Yeah, I would definitely have to say that you changed it. You changed the way people looked at it, and I think it certainly it molded a different way for the generations to come to view it differently and not so closed off. Speaking about that, do you consider yourselves as role models?
I really don't, but that's just how I think. I mean, the reality is that we are role models, whether we like it or not. People look up to us, and either for good things, and some people look up to us for some people might consider negative things. But the fact that you have to accept that once you become a celebrity, a successful entertainer, you are a role model, no matter how you feel about it. There is kids that look up to you, that emulate you, and want to be like you, and therefore forge their own careers because Cypress Hill was what turned them on, and they wanted to be like that. So you have to accept the role model part of it, whether you want to or not. You have to realize that you are accountable for what you say, your actions, and how good or how much you suck on stage. You're accountable for all that.
I guess so. If you view it that way, which is exactly the way it is, because it's not a decision you make. It's just something that comes along with the job, I guess. What would the message be that you're trying to get across?
Our message has always been, our first message has always been legalize it. You know what I mean? Nothing has changed. You know what I mean? We still believe in that cause. You know what I mean? And our other messages that we have are, be open-minded, be yourself, and don't care what people say when you experiment with things, or if you do something that is out of the norm of like where you're from or the realm that you exist in. We brought open-mindedness. You know what I mean? That's our second message, and that's why Cypress Hill is still around, because we only care about really what we think, and we think that if we like it, our fans will like it.
Do you think that rap, in itself has changed over the years? What do you think about artists now? Do you think it's they view it differently than you guys did?
Well, I think so. It has changed, because when we came out, when I first started hip hop, and hip hop was a music that had a message, a survival message, a community message. Let's make our community, our thing stronger. Let's make each other stronger. Let's be, our hip hop community be strong. And it was more about, real life views and aspects of things, and it switched over to more materialistic things like cars and jewelry and women and houses and all that stuff, and we've never been about that, so we're not going to just jump on it. But it has changed from like guys like Chuck D and KRS-One, who kicked a lot of knowledge. You know what I mean? That's what turned me on to hip hop, and now it's just more about, I don't know, there's different movements in hip hop, but the glitzy, what I call glam rap, You know what I mean? It's very popular now. You know.
So, do you have any favorite artists? You know, recent artists now?
Recent artists, Jay Electronica is probably, one of the ones that I like right now.
Jay Electronica, Wiz Khalifa is pretty good. A lot of people on the underground that are coming up. Nipsey Hussle.
What can we expect from Cypress Hill in 2011?
More music. More.
Any variations? Anything you'd like to try that you haven't done yet?
We're gonna be working on some stuff pretty soon for next year. A little bit different for us. I don't want to say too much about it because we're still trying to get the producers together for it. But it'll definitely be different than what most people are used to listening to us with. But that's gonna be more of an EP than an album because 2012 is probably when the next actual album will surface.